right, you guys, before we start this video, I have something super pressing that we need to address and I need help with first. I am having a crisis where I cannot decide which way, like which side to part my hair. I feel like not this side, but this would be, okay, so like the part would be on my left if this is what you prefer. I know my eye's like covered. Yeah, it's gotta be better on this side, right? Where this, like the part is on my right. Please let me know in the comments. I don't know why, like I'll put it this way. Please let me know. I think this is the better of the two ways, but then like I just, maybe I should just put it up in like a half pony. I feel like I'm always happier that way. All right, maybe we do a half pony because I feel like I'm typically happier when I don't have to decide how to part my hair. I did finally get my hair cut for the first time in like a year, so that's a big deal. All right, guys, I'm super excited for today's video. I stole this concept from my friend Emily, from Emily and Max. She made a video on her book channel last year, and it was a video called "These Books Will Self-Destruct If She Doesn't Read Them in 2023." And I was getting ready to film that video for my book channel for this year, and I was like, doing my makeup actually as I was thinking about the books that I wanted to like, that I was potentially going to put on that list. And I was like, gosh, I have some old ass makeup products in my collection that like I really should use or like literally just declutter. And so I'm taking this concept and also applying it to my makeup collection. And I have 14 makeup products that I literally, maybe I should have included like body care and skincare. Well, we'll see how this goes, and then maybe I'll include more. Like if I do, I'm thinking maybe I'll do like, maybe let me know if you want quarterly updates or just like one update in the middle of the year, and then we'll wrap this video up. But I have 14 products that if I don't use this year in some capacity, I have like little rules for each one. If I don't use them either to completion or the amount of times that I'm gonna allot myself, then these, no matter what, I need to just let my heart, let them go at the end of the year, and they need to exit my collection. These all probably should exit my collection at the end of the year regardless, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm considering this like a project pan per se. It's just products that like I want to be thinking about in some capacity to use. I have a mix of eyeshadow palettes, face palettes, blush, bronzer, lip products, highlight, you name it. I've got 14 products here that are just really crusty and old that I need to use this year. They need to exit. So if you're interested in seeing what those products are, stay tuned. First, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just chit chatting about makeup, I'd love for you to consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, you guys, we're gonna start with palettes first because these two eyeshadow palettes were the inspiration for these videos, or for this video. And I feel like when I was doing my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter at the end of the year, I said in that video, if I do not use these palettes next year, like I need to get rid of them. I didn't use Sassy Siennas at all this past year, and I only used Baked Browns like 1 or 2 times. So it's not gonna be a situation where like I have to use these like a million times or they're gonna go, and I have different rules for each one. So for Baked Browns, this is what my Baked Browns is looking like. As you can tell, this palette is well loved. This used to be like one of my most used, most reached for palettes. I wanna say, when did these release? Was it like 2017, 2018 timeframe? Like this is over 5 years old. But my rule for Baked Browns is if by the end of the year, I do not have pans in all 5 shades, I need to declutter it. Or the other thing that could happen is if this shade right here, this lid setting shade, this should be very doable. If this pan is empty at the end of the year, then I can keep the palette, even if I don't have pans in every other shade in this palette. So it'll encourage me to just get some use on this 5-pan monochromatic matte palette. And that is product number 1. Product number 2 is Sassy Siennas. This one is not nearly as well loved. This is what this palette is looking like. And I think for this eyeshadow palette, I want to use this 20 times. I have a large eyeshadow palette collection, and 20 times would be like I do track my annual palette usage, and not even like 10% of my eyeshadow palettes make it to 20 uses in a year. So I think I'm gonna give myself a 20, like I need to use this at least 20 times if I wanna keep that. Maybe that'll encourage me to just right away, just have this pulled the first couple months of the year, use it 20 times, and then I don't even have to think about it again, but it's earned its right to stay in my collection if I so choose. But my goal with this one is gonna be 20 uses. So those are the first two products. I do have one more eyeshadow palette. It is my Natasha Denona Lila palette. I believe I purchased this palette at the end of 2016, very beginning of 2017. So we're going 6 to 7 years old with this one. It is old. And I think part of this is there are some very specific shades that I really do love so much in this palette. It was so expensive, and I feel like I collect Natasha Denona palettes at this time, which is fine. It is fine, but I only reached for this palette one time last year, and like, that's just like not okay. That's just not okay. So I want to also challenge myself to use this palette at least 20 times, or will I be able to declutter it? Or maybe I just need to like send it home to my mom, so like I'm like, but I like collect these. Or do I like, maybe I like officially like I'll plaster retired on the palette, so I'll keep it in my collection, but it's retired. I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm just thinking I need to use this more, and I need to like give myself the motivation to use it more. So maybe knowing that I need to check in with you guys will just give me some motivation to use this at least 20 times. Like I can get 20 uses out of this. So that's gonna be the goal. Otherwise, something needs to happen with this palette. Let's chat through face palettes next. This palette. How old is this? I'm thinking this might be 2015. 2016 would be the possible like youngest this could be in my collection. Does that even make sense? It's the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator palette. And I have used this so much in its lifetime with me. But like, when was the last time I really consistently reached for this? I absolutely love the shade Peach Glow. I'm curious, I see a really big chunk out of this. Like it almost looks like I dug a nail in this on accident. And like, I feel like I'm still nowhere near pan on Peach Glow, which would be my most used shade. I feel like for this one, ooh, this is so tough because I spent so much time last year panning my Becca Rose Quartz. I do really want to make sure like I'm cycling through my highlighter collection this year. But there's also like, I want to really be good this year about like repurposing products so that I can get even more use out of them. So there's always the ability to highlight the body. I think I'm gonna also give myself a 20 use. I'm almost like, should I give myself a 30 use? Just because this one's so old, and like, I don't actually think I would really miss this if it was not in my collection anymore. So we're gonna up the stakes with this one. We're gonna say I need to use this 30 times in 2024 or this is getting the boot. And then, you guys, the Aurora Glow Kit. When did this release? Was it 2017, 2018? And this is not something I really plan to use much to highlight the face, but my Kat Von D Alchemist palette, which was my favorite inner corner highlighting palette, like one of my most used pieces of makeup in my collection, my daughter thought I wasn't using it anymore and she scratched it all. And so I don't have that anymore. It makes me so sad. So I'm thinking this could be like my new inner corner highlighting palette. I also have the Bella Beauté Bar Oracle palette, which I've really been enjoying for inner corner highlighting as well. But back in the day, I also really enjoyed the shade Eclipse for a face highlight. So I'm thinking like maybe I could do that again. I'm gonna give myself a 30 use goal with this one as well, just because 30 inner corner highlights, like that should be no problem. This is really getting old and I just truly need to use this. What do we want to talk about next? I'm gonna scooch the rest of the products over. Maybe we can do lips next. Okay, I have 3 lip products and I'm like so embarrassed to say like the age of these products, so please do not judge. If I get sick from putting these products on my lips, that's like, it's my fault. It's my fault. Don't worry about me. Don't worry. This is probably the youngest of the three. This is my Fenty Beauty Slip Shine lipstick in the shade Tang Tang. This was in my, I think, whole collection project pan this past year, and I really struggled to reach for it because it rolled in at the end of the year. So I really want to encourage myself to reach for this coming spring, summer. And I think I'm gonna tell myself, like, this needs to be an empty. That's how much I have left. Plus it's like an easy to apply, like, and reapply lip product. I think I'm gonna tell myself this I need to finish, or at least be really close to finishing for me to like justify keeping this at the end of the year. I want, like, I feel like this past summer I really wanted this to be my look, and it was, but like even more so this summer, I'm just imagining such a great life for myself in 2024 where I'm just like such a social butterfly, which is not me. And just like, you know, all the patio drinking, all the just fun this summer. And I really want my summer look to be like latte makeup with a pop of color on the lips. So this is gonna give it to me. Speaking of a shade, that color, you guys, and this is Bite Beauty, so it's like food grade, like definitely, oop, do I need to, is this molding? Like, is this pulling a Jaclyn Hill on me, and are we fuzzy? I don't, it doesn't smell off. I feel like no matter what, I need to declutter this at the end of 2024. That's where we're at. This is the Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Pickled Ginger. Obviously Bite Beauty isn't even a brand anymore. I'm pretty sure I purchased this in like 2015, 2016. It, like, you know how sometimes it almost looks like watermarks on the side? It still has like a minty scent to it. Like, it literally doesn't even smell like slightly off. This is the shade. Really beautiful, like bright shade. I don't like, I know I'm not gonna finish this amount of this shade of product this year, but I think no matter what, like this is like needing to be thrown away at the end of this year. So get use out of it while you can, girl. That's where we're at with this one, I think. And then another extremely old lip product is this Dose of Colors liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Mondays. I think this is, it still smells like it did when I first purchased it. Like, it really, like, I promise I'm not just saying that, you guys. Like, if it actually smelled disgusting, I would say, but it doesn't. Like, it does not smell off. There's Mondays right here. This actually is a pretty deep vampy shade on the lips. Really beautiful. I would like to really curate my liquid lip product like collection this year, and really almost start fresh at the end of this year. And Dose of Colors makes one of my absolute favorite liquid lipstick formulas. So I think no matter where I'm at with this one as well, like, I need to just retire this at the end of this year. But I am thinking maybe I'll pick up a couple liquid lipsticks here and there from Dose of Colors this year in shades that I really want, like a really long lasting lip. That's kind of like on my mind. I really enjoy this shade and really enjoy this color, but it's just not something that like is an everyday shade for me. And I definitely feel more inclined to reach for a shade like this in the fall time. No matter what, this one I think needs to be exiting the collection at the end of the year as well. So get use out of it while you can, girl, and that one's gonna go at the end of the year. Okay, this eye product, this Tarte Chrome Paint Pot in the shade Top Yacht. I think, again, I think the youngest this could be would be 2018. So like the oldest. The youngest it could be is 5. It could potentially be older. That's what I'm trying to say. It still like glides onto the eyes so well. And it looks so beautiful. Gosh, was it Samantha Ravindall who was raving about this product? I just feel like now, because like indie shadows have come such a long way, I can get this same effect really from a single shadow, but I don't really have this like champagne gold sort of shade. Like, it's not something, a shade like this isn't necessarily something I would seek out from an indie brand. It's just, oh, I do not reach for a potted product like this, like, ever. I reach for this maybe 1 to 2 times a year. I feel like maybe I need to give myself 10 is too little for sure. Do I need to do 20 uses as well? It's just like, we're getting up there in the amount of like, granted, I could mix this with other things. I think I'm gonna say I need to use this 20 times as well. Or this needs to get decluttered. We're gonna go 20 uses on that. Okay, a product that I need to just finish off this year, and I'm almost certain I will, but I wanted to include it in this. It's my RCMA No Translucent Powder. I have mine in my Laura Mercier packaging. This is so freaking old in my collection. 2016, 2017, maybe even 2015 I purchased this, and it's still going strong. Still going strong. I maybe have, I still have probably about half of this packaging full of this powder. I'm definitely someone who prefers a pressed powder nowadays. And for a loose powder, I really like the Givenchy Prism Libre powder. So I just want to like be done with this. I literally just want to be done with this. It was one of my most used powders for such a long time. I can't remember if I had 2 of these and I finished up 1 full jar, or if I just had 1. Maybe I did have 2 and I've already finished up a full jar. But anyway, I need to be done with this. Like, this needs to be an empty. If I don't finish this by the end of the year, that's pathetic. It needs to be an empty or really close, or it's getting the boot and it's not counting as an empty, and which will make me really upset. Okay. I have the Becca Cosmetics. I was thinking Bella Beauté bar. I don't know why. I have the Becca Cosmetics Flower Child blush. Oldest Becca blush in my collection, and probably the one that I use, like, I'm more inclined to reach for Songbird, especially right now. I'm really loving like a nude coral peachy sort of blush, so I just don't see myself being as inclined to naturally reach for this blush. It's so old in my collection. It definitely has gotten a lot of use and love in its lifetime with me, but 20 uses on this, or it truly does just need to go, which would be so sad because I like really love these little saucers from Becca. But 20 uses, or that needs to get decluttered. Maybe you guys are thinking like 20 uses is nothing, girl. And I get it. I do have a larger collection though. And I'm just basically trying to say, like, if I am not even reaching for these products like 20 times, why is it still in my collection? One of the oldest highlights in my collection. I thought about pulling in Mary Lou, but Mary Lou already has a pan. Like she's showing some pan. So I think this is my second oldest. This is from Makeup Forever, and it is in the shade, I think 1. It's the pink highlight. Really beautiful. Has definitely gotten a lot of love for me in its lifetime, but my highlighter collection is really large at this point in time, and this is definitely more of an icier pink, whereas sometimes I like something with a little bit more of like a peachy pink, so it gives a little bit of warmth to the cheek. I think with this, and it's so tough, oh, that is so pretty. I think with this, I would like to like have a pan, and I have no idea how deep these pans are. It is a baked product, so I feel like pans are always like impossible. It would be really nice to have a pan though in this product. I think I'm gonna say this needs to have a pan, or in my mind, I need to have known that, like, maybe I'll track use on this as well. And I think at least 30 uses, just knowing how easy it is for me to reach for a pink blush, or not blush, highlight, and knowing how much I love pink highlighters. If I haven't reached for this 30 times by the end of the year, then this needs to get the boot, or I'm really hopeful that it'll have a pan. But that is another product. Then ending with 2 more products. Okay, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I purchased this in 2019. I vividly remember purchasing this on my birthday in 2019. I was in Las Vegas when I purchased it, and I probably have about like a third of this product left. My cap has broken off. Everything on this product, like the packaging, like the lettering, has all worn away. I do know that I have the shade 2 Light. This, I love this product. I do have other products similar to this in my collection right now, but I could see myself purchasing this again at some point after finishing it. I do need to like work my way through some of my other similar products to this, but I do love this product. But like, I just need to finish this, and this just needs to be out of my collection because the packaging is so janky at this point in time as well, and it's really old. So this, it's either empty or it's not, and we're getting rid of it at the end of the year. And then the final product is my Marc Jacobs Tantastic Bronzer, and I do have a pretty large pan on this product now, and I've been slowly working my way through this, but I find myself not reaching for this one as much, and I feel like it's because I know like this isn't available anymore. I do really like this bronzer shade, and I should be reaching for this. Now, I want to finish my Ilia bronzer this year. I'm like unofficially trying to pan that. I think I'll have that done by like March-ish. I don't necessarily want to like, I think this would take serious dedication to finish up all of this bronzer, just knowing how long it took to even hit pan on this. I don't necessarily know that like finishing this up in its entirety is something I want to do, because I don't want to neglect my entire bronzer collection. But I think with this one, I'm gonna give myself a 50. I know that's a lot, but it's one of the oldest bronzers in my collection as well. I think I'm gonna give myself a 50 use goal with this bronzer, and I need to use it 50 times. I should be able to do that, or this needs to get decluttered. So that is gonna be the goal with this. And those are all 14 products throughout my collection that are going to self-destruct by the end of the year if I don't get use out of them. I would love to know if you have any products like this throughout your collection that you're like, sister, I need to either use this, or like, I truly do need to declutter. It's so hard sometimes to declutter, but like, I really need to be real with myself about these products, and like, they are old. So like, girl, you're either using them or you're not. And I feel like this is going to be a way to like truly show me like whether or not I'm even using these products. And like, if I'm not using them, like why can I not get rid of them? You know what I mean? That is gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.